The rot runs deep. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Now she says she's sorry. For what? For saying this.
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign.
Now, I know what you're thinking. How could someone so ignorant be a president of a university that graduated minds such as Teddy Roosevelt, T.S. Eliot, Robert Oppenheimer? Yet this is what the left has done to our higher education. And now Harvard's Claudine Gay followed UPenn President Liz McGill on the Ivy League apology tour in an interview with the Harvard Crimson. Well, after their equivocation regarding campus protests calling for genocide of Jews, MIT, Harvard, and UPenn are still facing massive backlash from alumni, some of whom have pulled their very large donations to the schools. Calls for resignations are coming from both Democrats and Republicans. But the Harvard president appeared to at least partly blame the atmosphere at the hearing itself, saying, I got caught up in what had become, at that point, an extended combative exchange about policies and procedures. But her loopiest line of all is when she added, substantively, I failed to convey what is my truth. Insert the chest thump and the emoji with the eye roll there. Now, what unfolded on Capitol Hill this week shouldn't really be seen in isolation, but instead part of a continuum of what the diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda has done to even our most prestigious universities. None of those women should still have their jobs after what they said. And it's hard to believe that any of them would be in their positions if they weren't women. Proclaimed victimhood regularly beats out professed excellence. If you're from a recognized minority group with a decent but unimpressive record, you too can become president of Harvard. Now consider Ms. Gay's own background. Before being selected a president of Harvard, she'd just published 11 peer-reviewed articles, and she had not written a single book. Her published works are steeped in victimology, the kind that's rewarded on campus. Her focus was on Black grievance and gender grievance, including the impact of gender and race on the politics of Black women. As the Boston Globe noted, other college presidents have written dozens and dozens and dozens of articles and even several books. For instance, by comparison, former Harvard president Larry Summers had written more articles in a single year, that was way back in 1986, than Ms. Gay had written in her entire career when she was appointed. But of course, since Summers was a real academic and perceived as too demanding and blunt by the snowflakes at Harvard, his tenure as president was cut short. Diversity was the major factor in Ms. Gay's hiring, a fact that even her own colleagues implicitly admitted. They raved about how she had hired ethnic studies professors as a dean and her support for the creation of an undergraduate concentration in ethnicity, indigeneity, and migration. Well, this is all just part of the oppression mindset, which has come to dominate on college campuses. And knowing how to play that game is key to climbing the ladder in academia, and perhaps right to the president's office.
Harvard has accomplished so much in the last few years, from radically advancing our understanding of natural and artificial intelligence, to our collective commitment to issues around climate and sustainability, and the bold agenda of reckoning and repair inspired by the groundbreaking report on Harvard and the legacy of slavery.
The tolerance of vile, genocide-supporting anti-Semitism on campus, it's simply a symptom of a disease that has gripped these universities for decades. And one thing we've learned in recent years is that America, look, it's full of institutions that are not as nearly powerful as they appear or want to appear. Think about this. It's not just Harvard. The GOP establishment looked unbeatable in its own primaries until Donald Trump took them on. Disney, vaunted Disney, looked unbeatable in the state of Florida until Ron DeSantis took them on. Then there was the Washington Post. It used to be strong enough to bring down a president. Now, its own people are facing huge layoffs and buyouts. And now the Ivies are facing a similar judgment. President Gay and the other witnesses at that hearing never believed, though, that they would face consequences from anything they said to Congresswoman Stefanik. They thought their titles and their prestige would protect them. They always do. But they were wrong. The Ivies became very rich and very powerful because they had a reputation for rigor, hard work, tradition, and excellence. Well, that reputation now lies in tatters, not only in Washington, but all over the world. If they want to regain it, they need to begin by hiring presidents on the basis of merit and not on grievance. And that's The Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.